Hi Alex, it's Roya, and this is for my thoughts. This is session 1. It is November 20th. It's about 8:10 in the morning, and I am getting ready to go to my ear, nose, and throat appointment with Dr. Lee. I am experiencing a million emotions. I am scared. I am petrified, actually, is probably a more appropriate word. Denial is a lovely emotion. It's easy to pretend that nothing's happening, so no news is good news, as they say. Although I'm very nervous, the worst case scenario is that it's there.
Meet my dear friend Roya Zichmand. In 2015, she started experiencing peculiar ear infections. Nothing prepared her for what it turned out to be. This is a story about hope and the power to take control.
Hello. How are you? Oh, it's so good to see you.
Oh, finally.
Oh my God, I miss you so much. Yeah. Come on in.
Roya tells everyone about her new tattoo and how it helps to keep her focused. I decided to take that to help guide us through her journey.
My name is Roya Zichmand, and I was diagnosed with a pretty bad cancer. It was a stage 4 by the time they found it. My path to my diagnosis was fairly convoluted. I was working for JetBlue, and I was having difficulty getting my ears to clear while I was working. In July of 2015, I had to ground myself because I was having so many difficulties with my ear not clearing with flights. And on April 21st, I finally got my diagnosis. I had a stage 4 squamous cell carcinoma of the posterior nasopharynx. Big fancy name. But basically, I had a 4.6 centimeter mass that would be up where your adenoids are. It's non-operable. I was sent to the oncologist, who was anything but compassionate. In fact, she told me I was going to die. And at that point, I decided that traditional medicine didn't offer a lot for me and began to explore alternative paths even further. In December of that same year, I found the Hufeland Klinik in Germany. And on January 9th of 2017, I left for Germany, where I spent 6 weeks of therapy, and July of 2017 I had a CAT scan MRI that showed I had no residual tumor in my posterior nasopharynx.
Wait, what? No tumor? Somewhere across the pond was the story behind my story. Next thing I knew, I was boarding a plane and 2 other trains before arriving to this little town in Germany, but Mergentheim, known for having the best mineral springs in all of Europe.
So my name is Angelika Wöppel. My father founded the clinic in 1985. I work here since 2011 as a managing director together with my mother. And I have studied business administration originally, and I manage the clinic now, yeah. Normal hospitals just have the focus on the tumor, for example. They don't have the focus on the whole body, on the whole person. And for example, when we have a request from a patient, he asks if we treat breast cancer, for example. We always say we don't treat breast cancer, we treat you in total, your soul and your body and your immune system. And then we have, of course, also a focus on the tumor, but as a side effect of what we are doing here in the clinic. I think it's the main difference between conventional methods and our clinic here. Yeah.
The human body and human life is a very complex thing, you know. Personally, I see a big difference between an existing tumor and the cancer disease. I would like to locate the cancer disease more in the software of our body, you know, and the tumor is just the expression of these changes that has been made in the software.
The first Monday that I was there, I got very low dose chemotherapy, and then on Tuesday, they put me in a heating chamber, and I was taken to 102 degrees Fahrenheit, and I was left there for 2 hours. Then they take the lights off, leave you for another half an hour, and then take you back to your room and tuck you into bed with a bunch of warm water bottles, and they leave you for about 6 hours because you're miserable. They do laughing yoga, art therapy, clay therapy, good foods. I speak with a psychiatrist. We had dance therapy. I had electromagnetic therapy. We had hydrotherapy. And all of those therapies are designed to bring your body into harmony.
I'm not saying that we have a solution for a specific problem, because again, it's not predictable, in a single individual. We have to become our own therapists because we are, Being responsible means being able to respond.
Roya has given us special permission to join her at her crucial appointment with her naturopath, Dr. Joseph Lee, 18 months after returning from the Hufeland Klinik.
Technology is good, it's great.
Right. Well,
It's not
so much. Yeah. And if you're more comfortable, you can rest just like that, and then turn towards me. Perfect. So this is the front of the nose, little tickle, and then you're going to get a great big squeeze. Okay, so now we're back at the nasopharynx. So this is the right eustachian tube, and that's open. The right fossa rosemuller is right back there, and that's got that nice cleft. Here's that mucus in it, but it goes back there. Then the eustachian orifices are clear. Fossa rosemuller.
We have evidence that
All right.
Roya is tumor-free. We never will have evidence whether she might be cancer-free. We don't know anything about the changes in the software, and as I think, as long as she can hold the balance, the tumors may probably never show up again.
Okay, I'm sorry about the lighting, and takes too long to rearrange my window, so this one's going to be quick, and I just wanted to let you know that Dr. Lee finished his scope, and he can't see anything from his exam, which is very reassuring, and I'm very pleased with that. I am relieved with a dose of caution, and I will continue to keep you updated as I can. That's it for now. All right, have a great day. Bye.
Oh, my father was very strict, and he always said to the patients, if you would get rid of cancer, you have to change something in your life. And he was very clear in everything what he said. And on the other side, it was always important for him that the clinic has a spirit of a family business.
In a living being, you find intrinsic creativity. And creativity means that I can place myself at the edges of the statistical outcome.
Interestingly enough, on your art therapy, the art therapist collects all of your paintings, and at the very end, you actually get to see your progression of personal balance she reviews them with you chronologically and shows you your mental balance, which is your body coming back into shape. So that was pretty interesting. So I flew into Germany in early January. By the time I got there, I was 93 pounds. And I had permanent pins and needles, numbness and tingling, sort of in a distribution of my face here. And I had a chronic headache. I was exhausted all the time because I couldn't breathe, and my choices were often eating or breathing. Couldn't do both at the same time. So when I very first got to Germany, they'd already received some of my records. They took a bunch of blood, and I spent the first 3 days them getting to know me. And it consisted of tests to determine how my body responded to the stimulus that they would give me, what my blood tests would return. They gave me, the doctor's very skilled there with the sonography machine, and he was able to see the sides of my tumor with an ultrasound. And just let you get settled. You speak with a psychiatrist, and I got on there on a Tuesday, and I had no treatments for the first week until Friday, when I had something called fever push. And they give you bacterial particles and make your body make fever. And I had fever for almost 8 hours, shaking, chills fever for almost 8 hours, which is exhausting. But I woke up feeling improved. I felt like I had a little bit more energy, and even though I had been so traumatized by the fever push, it felt like it energized me, which was my first clue that I was on the right path.
When people understand, then they can make a better decision for themselves. You know, it's a matter of. I'm not saying that we have a solution for a specific problem. You know, because again, it's not predictable. You know, in a single individual. That's for me. It's very important to emphasize. You know, so many patients are seeking for a strategy that's more successful than another strategy. You know, this is what I'm facing every day when I get calls and I have to answer emails and so on. They are searching, what is your expertise especially in this type of cancer? What is your outcome? And so I have no outcome. I don't have the cancer. You know, it's your outcome, and you are a single individual. You must find out what is right for you. You know, yeah, but I'm only a patient. This is what I hear, and I have to address it. We have to become our own therapists, because we are, you know, being responsible. That's also a great one. I learned. It's not from me. I didn't invent anything here. Yeah, being responsible means being able to respond. A disease condition is not something that might kill me. A disease condition is a challenge. It's a question for me, and the question has to be answered. And the only answer that's right can be given by me. So I will be responsible for whatever happens. You know, I can't expect an answer being given by another person, even as a specialist. You know, specialist is just for the condition, for the environment, but it's not for the background, and I deliver the background. Healing is normal. It's the normal state of our health system. However, it may not work properly. It may be disturbed due to our behavior, our bad influences whatsoever, and sometimes, unfortunately, being stopped by management processes of conventional medicine. You have to find out on an individual basis what's helpful. You have to find out on an individual basis what's supportive, what brings you forward, and then you can make a decision, a reasonable decision, to which strategy you will turn to and from which strategy you will take benefit. Sometimes chemotherapy, radiation, even in a conventional way, done in a conventional way, is absolutely supportive. You know, you can cope with that. It's never an either or, an either nor situation. You know, but you have to find it on an individual basis. That's the message for me when you will really achieve something like healing, or at least prolonging your lifetime with a reasonable quality of life.